What is up?
Not much. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Now we're just waiting on Monroe. Where you at?
Alrighty.
There he is.
There he is.
What's up, guys?
Not much.
Not
Y'all
much. How
ready to
you
get
doing?
started?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, let's
sir.
I'm
go.
doing fantastic, man. Fantastic. Look, we said we start right at 7. We're going to start right at 7. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jeremy Wallman, and I'll be your moderator for the Louisville live stream right here on the Rave Sports app, which is brought to you by the U of L Collective, the 502Circle. The purpose of this innovative idea is to bring Cardinals past and present together so you, the fans, can talk to the athletes that you love. We will have 20 minutes on the clock to ask any questions you like. Tonight, we welcome in two very special guests. First up, the 6'9", 310-pound offensive lineman hails from West Hampton Beach, New York, and comes to the Ville from Yale. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Impressive. He played 4 seasons on the O-line at Yale, receiving all Ivy League honors. Looks like he won every award possible in high school as well. Too many to mention here. We only got 20 minutes. We welcome the scholar, the man, the athlete, Jonathan Mendoza. What's good, my man?
Not much, brother. Appreciate you for having us on.
Hey, not a problem. I appreciate y'all coming on here. And last but certainly not least, the 6'7", 315-pound offensive lineman was a 2-year starter from Texas Tech. In high school, he was one of the best offensive linemen in Missouri during his career. Oh, by the way, he also wrestled and, I'm checking my notes again, played chess. Okay, I dig it. 41-8 overall. Look, we're big wrestling fans here, both collegiate and professional here at my website, the Cardinal Sports Zone here in Louisville as well. He's none other than Monroe Mills. Had to give
Hey,
you the wrestling
guys.
intro there, my dude.
Hey, guys, excited to be on.
Hey, man, we're so glad to have you all here. Look, we're not going to waste any time. Of course, the way we normally do this, guys, is for the fans, it's been a while since y'all been with us. We will ask your all's questions. Absolutely. Coach Watson says the big red wall, no doubt. And I've got some questions prepared because I know sometimes y'all can be a little shy and not want to ask the guys the question. So luckily for you all, I have been blessed with the gift of gab and the gift of writing out questions. So what we'll do is we'll just ask a startup question for both of you all. How is recruiting through the portal different than when you were coming out of high school? Monroe, we'll start with you first on that one.
So, yeah, I mean, out of high school, college football is just a different landscape than what it was now. Out of high school, I'm from like a small school. We had like 200 kids at our school, so it was, a very, very slow process. But then for the portal, it was rapid fire, people constantly kind of texting you, hitting you up, like go, 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 go. So it was like a total like 180 as far as recruiting goes and the speed of it.
For sure. What about you, Jonathan?
Yeah, no, I think Monroe said it best. I was kind of in a similar boat coming out of high school. Nobody really thinks New York's a huge football state. So recruitment for me was pretty slow. I thought I was going to be like a D2, D3 kid, maybe even a JUCO product. It was the D1 offer started rolling in pretty late. And then obviously, you've played a few seasons in college. You've kind of gotten that under your belt. Everything kind of adds up in the way that you want it to. And then kind of like Monroe said, you have people hitting you up kind of left and right. And you're on the phone with somebody and then on the phone with somebody else right after that. So it was kind of a night and day difference. But yeah, I would assume, like I said, just over time, and like I said, just kind of getting those years under your belt in college definitely does help for the notoriety part of it for sure.
Absolutely. We're going to go back to you on the second question. Again, guys, get y'all's questions in. They're doing this for you all. They want to interact with you all. Our guy Beast Mode says, "Let's go. Welcome and thank you for joining us, guys." Look, it's people like Beast Mode. He's one of our more fanatical fans. He gets a lot of stuff signed. So if you run into him, he will introduce himself to you. That's for sure. Second question, Jonathan, what has surprised you the most about the city of Louisville so far?
Most about the city, I would say how quick it is to get to and from places. That was something that I noticed on my official visit. The city itself is pretty big. Yale's in New Haven, Connecticut. Not a very super well known city, but infrastructure wise, absolutely terrible. With a ton of one way streets, lights that are never green when you need them to be. And when I had come here on my official visit, and just even driving through now, you're able to get pretty much from one end of the city all the way to the other in probably about 20 minutes. So. I would say that just overall, that's probably the biggest thing that I was kind of shocked about, because I was expecting a bigger city than Yale. And obviously, being from New York, I'm used to the New York City traffic. Sometimes it's the gridlock over there. So I was just shocked at how easy it was to just get from point A to point B over here.
And yeah, I can tell you for a fact he is not. It's really more about what time sometimes you can leave. if you try to go anywhere around 5:30 in the city of Louisville, you can forget it. But like I just had to go pick my niece up from work probably about an hour and a half ago. Got out there all the way on the other side of the city in 20 minutes. Got back in 20 minutes. Got upstairs. Got set up and ready to do this. So I can concur on that. What about you, Monroe? What's been the thing that surprised you the most about this city?
So coming from Lubbock, Texas, is not exactly the biggest city in the world. So I thought I'd be kind of overwhelmed with how big the city was, and I thought I would be able to get around, but it really hasn't been. The traffic hasn't been terrible, as long as you're obviously not in the 5 o'clock traffic, like you were saying. And also, I'm a big kind of like fisherman and hunting kind of guy, and I thought, a big city, I wouldn't be able to get out, but no, like 20 minutes outside of town, you can find all the fishing and hunting you can dream of, basically. And then Coach Watson, there's also what you said about the food. There's been a ton of food options that it's been awesome compared to
Hold on,
Lubbock.
Monroe. Hold on. We're going to ask you that in a second. Coach Watson's jumping ahead here a little bit. And just to clear things up, Coach Watson is a little bit older than all of us in this room. I don't know if he's like there is. Did you were y'all aware that you had a pair of Food Critic stars on the football team in Madden Sanker and Luke Burgess?
We were aware, yeah, that's been
Yeah.
brought up a few times.
Shout out to them. They do the show L&M Eats. It's
Yep.
on YouTube. Check that out. Part of the State of Louisville Podcast Network. It's a rival podcast network, but that's at the end of the day, we're all current or former Cardinals in here, so we'll promote within. I'll ask you first, Monroe. What's been some of your favorite food spots in town?
Okay, John, what was that one we went to? The Dirk's. What was that name? That chicken place. Uh, Drake's.
Yes, Drake's, yeah.
Drake's. Yes, Drake's. That was awesome. That was really good. I think I had chicken there. I'm pretty sure, and then they have the sushi. I need to try that still though.
They've got everything there.
They
It's
got
probably one of the restaurants I've been to, one of the few restaurants in town that I've been to. Alongside, there's another one y'all have to try if you haven't. It's called Four Pegs. It's out in Germantown. Amazing. Everything you order off the menu is fantastic. But definitely, I honestly, oddly enough, just had Drake's for the first time a couple of weeks ago during the opening weekend of the NCAA basketball tournament, and I was surprised. Like I had like a buffalo chicken macaroni and cheese bowl that was fantastic. My wife had sushi. My niece had like chicken fat. Like it was such a big variety there. What about Jonathan? What about you? Other than Drake's, there we got somebody saying Four Pegs is fire. It is fire. And I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor of my podcast. I might be, but it's true.
Yeah, so for me, I'd recently tried the Eagle, the fried chicken from over there. I want to say last week. Now that was really good. I'm not like obviously up north, like we got KFC and that. I mean, it's just not a comparison. It's you're talking apples and oranges.
Absolutely. Listen,
Yeah.
KFC is good for fast food chicken, but
Oh yeah.
it is not your average fried chicken. All right, let's go to a couple of. We got bootleg barbecue as a favorite of. It's really good as well. I'm not going to lie about that. I won't be promoting them because they're not a sponsor, but very very good food. I'm just messing with them. All right, Monroe, we're going to ask you the first question that I got. I don't know why y'all are DMing me these questions. You're supposed to put the questions in this chat here. It's okay. But the first question I got two of them on Twitter. Monroe, we've heard of wrestlers turning to playing football more lately than we did in the past. How does your wrestling technique and experience help in football?
So in high school, I got into wrestling my sophomore year, and I was pretty decent. But then I got a lot better my junior year, and I got like third in state. So I was decent. Nothing crazy, but it definitely for football it helps you understand leverage and body control more than anything, and conditioning and mental toughness. I think are a huge part of wrestling. My brother, he just got third in nationals for wrestling, Division III. So that's been really cool. So on body control, conditioning, anything like that, they should pick up wrestling if they don't want to do basketball or something like that.
Are you a big professional wrestling fan as well, or just
I was back when I was younger, but then I found out it wasn't real and it broke my heart.
wait? What do you mean it's not real?
No, yeah, I mean it's real. My bad. Yeah,
WrestleMania is this weekend, man. You can't bust my balloon like on the biggest weekend of the wrestling.
yeah.
No, I was kind of the same way. I was a really big fan when I was a kid, and just recently, guys like The Rock have come back.
Oh yeah.
They're doing a lot more edgier things. It's not the John Cena PG stuff that it was going on there for a long time. So somebody wanted me to ask you about wrestling. Of course, I'm a big wrestling fan, so I had to ask.
Oh yeah.
Jonathan, what's been your biggest takeaway from spring practice so far?
I would say the speed of the game for sure. Coming from and a smaller FCS program, you're kind of able to see things develop, and kind of our defense wasn't super complicated. And we've got some great defensive players here at Louisville. So I would just say, being able to make adjustments super quick, see the leverage of the defense. I was always, as an offensive tackle, just looking at the D end across from me, and just coming here and realizing, no, you're not just looking at the DB, or you're not just looking at the D end, you're looking at the DB lined up over the receiver. You're looking at the safety leverage that's over top of it. You're looking at, the nickel Sam that's lined up a little bit out wide. So it's just, and then how quickly too our defense can stem in and out of different looks. So I would say biggest takeaway and biggest thing that I've learned is just kind of being able to adapt to that, and not so much having it like take you off guard, and just being able to adjust to it.
Absolutely. Look, we got a good question here. These two could be the WWE Tag Team Champions after football. What would your tag team, what would your wrestling names be? And then what would your tag team name be?
Oh man.
The tag team would have to be like Eminem, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah, Mills
Mills and
Mendoza, yeah,
Mendoza.
The New York Giant for John.
yeah, that's true. Could do that.
I like that. I like that. And then we had another one. Sport Doc says, anyone thinking of doing live interviews during the game this year? I'm not really sure we can get out there on the field to do live interviews. If that's something they'll let us do, hey, I'm down for it for sure. All right, let's get to the next question. This is from Monroe. You are the one who has got very poorly worded. Let me redo it. You're the one with experience with Tyler.
Mhm.
This is for you, Monroe. Talk about the relationship between the two of you and how you've been able to give insight on Tyler to your fellow linemen.
Tyler, great guy. I mean, as soon as I got back at Tech, when I got there, he took me in. Was a good friend of mine through all my years there. And I mean, he's one heck of a guy. Always took the O line out for dinner, all that kind of stuff. He's a real stand up guy. I'm actually going to his wedding this weekend, so we're pretty tight.
We go.
But yeah, I mean, I vouched for him, every chance, and whenever all of us, me, John, and Pete came in, I got Tyler with us, so we went and hung out. We got to know each other pretty well.
That's really. I don't think people realize how important chemistry between like just key groups like the line and the quarterbacks are. I mean, when I played, I was a tight end, and my quarterback was Chris Redmond, who was one of the greatest quarterbacks in Louisville football history. And I had the privilege of growing up with him, so I already knew him. But just to watch him take the other receivers and tight ends and kind of bring them in close, and the lineman, like he made sure he talked to every different group and was a very integral part in everybody's success. Um, Next question, again, still coming in from Twitter. Still don't understand. Just put them in here. Actually, we've got Cell AYM says maybe the wide receivers should study wrestling escapes. Maybe so. Look, there's a lot of stuff that transcend from football to wrestling, but there's also some stuff in wrestling. They're very athletic. A lot of people say just because it is predetermined, I don't use the F word, it's predetermined that it's not athletic. But those dudes and girls put their lives on the line. They're very, very athletic. So there's stuff that you can take either way. But next question is for Jonathan. Who's Jonathan Mendoza outside of football? Hobbies, goals, and aspirations. This is a deep question.
Mm-hmm. So hobbies don't really got too much. Football, especially at a place like this, is pretty time consuming. I'm a big video game guy. When I'm back at home, I love spending time with my dog. I'm not as outdoorsy as Monroe. I can't say that out on Long Island we got too much hunting and fishing going on, but definitely like to just be outside with my dog. And Family's super big to me. I love spending as much time with them as possible. So, even if I'm just at home and we'll do like a movie night or a bonfire or something simple like that. And then goals, for me, first and foremost is, if I'm able to make it to the NFL, that would be the first goal that I'd have in mind. But, part of me going to an undergraduate institution like Yale is just making sure that no matter what, I always have that kind of plan B in the back pocket. And a Yale degree in economics isn't really something that's too bad to fall back on. So, as far as a career path and something like that related to that, I'm not 100% sure yet. But I know a couple of buddies of mine that are in fields like commercial real estate. A couple of guys that I know are working on Wall Street. So it's you're able to kind of use that degree and use your networking and your resources and stuff like that to kind of put you in the best possible position if football isn't an avenue that's able to work out for you in the future.
Absolutely. People don't understand. And I didn't really get it till I started doing this about 12, 13 years ago. The podcasting and the show, the radio and stuff like that, how big connections were. I just happened to be here at a time when some of the greats, already mentioned Chris Redman, Ivan Green, Sam Madison, Roman Oben, Ray Buchanan. If you know Louisville football, you know those names. And I just happened to be around here. Frank Monroe, all NFL guys, some of them all-time greats in the league as well. So just to be able to, the first week of our show when we did start up on 93.9 DeVille, to be able to pull some of those guys, to call up Peyton Stevens and say, hey, you want to come on? You want to be on the show this week? Like it's huge, and you don't really realize it until after. Well, you all realize it more now with that since the advent of social media. But I hate saying this because it makes me sound old. Back in the days, 10 years ago, back in the days when we didn't really have social media, you didn't realize the impact that it could have. So, very good point there. Very good idea. I want to really quick because I know we've only got a few minutes left. And I'm going to ask a couple more of these questions. But can you all tell everybody where they can find you on social media? Monroe, you first.
Oh, okay. Twitter, my handle is Roe Mills Football with one L. And
I
then
was going to ask you about that.
it was something to do with the character number amount. I think I reached the limit or something. And then my Instagram is it should just be Roe Mills. Yeah.
There you go, Jonathan.
So Twitter, I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I'm not too active on Twitter, but Instagram, it would be Jonathan _ Mendoza _ and then 77.
All right, I was going to call you out because you actually don't follow me on social media, and Monroe does, but I won't do that. But you just explained why you're not a big social media.
No,
So,
not huge.
All right, so let's go ahead and really quickly. Again, you can catch Live with 55, which is my YouTube show, Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. and the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast Sundays at 2 p.m. Let's get a couple more of these questions in before the time is up. The 2-minute warning has just popped up on the screen, so let's ask one more question to each, and let's do really quick answers if you can. All right, Monroe, you faced a significant challenge with an ankle injury at Texas Tech. How did you approach your recovery, and what was it like to come back and perform on the field after that?
Okay, so I saw that on the internet. It actually wasn't an ankle injury; it was a knee injury. I don't
Okay.
know, but it was a MCL, yeah, and a meniscus, and yeah, I mean, it was just had to power through it. Really had to take care of my body. Had to start focusing on eating right and getting treatment and that kind of stuff. I mean, it took a lot more time, but it's what I had to do to play. I mean, that's end of the day. That's what it is.
Jonathan, what do you think the biggest adjustments will be from playing football in the Ivy League to playing football in the ACC?
Like I said, I'd kind of touched on it before. Definitely, speed of the game, and then too, you're dealing with just athletes that are more athletic. I have I think a 7'2" wingspan, so throwing my hands in pass protection and run blocking has never really been something that I struggled with. But some of our DNs and our Leos here, like 6'6", and they got pretty long arms too. So it's kind of just adjusting to the different guys, the different skill sets that they possess just because of the frames that they were gifted with, and just kind of dealing with athletes that are on a more similar caliber as opposed to guys, who not, and like I said, not to be disrespectful, but they're going there to be an accountant in 4 years. Like they don't have aspirations to do much with that.
Absolutely. Well, look, we appreciate y'all's time tonight. We appreciate the fans' time tonight. We're wrapping up, and listen, we'll do this every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Thank you so much. Go Cards.
Thank you.